I'm Max Lopez, and this is the Blue Wave. We have a clip here from the Univision town hall that Donald Trump did yesterday. And he gets asked a question by an undecided Hispanic voter that holds Trump accountable for January 6th more so than anybody in the mainstream media or any reporter out there in general has up until this point since that awful event happened so many years ago. So let's go ahead and look at this clip here from the Univision town hall, and then what we're gonna look at is the undecided voters' response as to whether or not Trump won over his vote.
Okay, I am a Republican, no longer registered though. I want to give you the opportunity to try to win back my vote. Okay, your let me say action and maybe inaction during your presidency and the last few years sort of, was a little disturbing to me. What happened during January 6th and the fact that, you waited so long to take action while your supporters were attacking the Capitol. Coronavirus, I thought the public was misled during coronavirus, and that many more lives could have been saved if we would have been informed better. And also people in your administration who don't support you. I'm curious how people so close to you and your administration no longer want to support you, so why would I want to support you? If you would answer these questions for me, I would really appreciate it and give you the opportunity. There's, your own vice president doesn't want to support you now.
Thank you, Ramiro. So the people that don't support a very small portion. We have a tremendous, about 97% of the people in the administration support me. But because it's me, somebody doesn't support, they get a little publicity. The vice president, I disagree with him on what he did. I totally disagreed with him on what he did. Very importantly, you had hundreds of thousands of people come to Washington. They didn't come because of me. They came because of the election. They thought the election was a rigged election, and that's why they came. Some of those people went down to the Capitol. I said peacefully and patriotically, nothing done wrong at all, nothing done wrong. And action was taken, strong action. Ashley Babbitt was killed. Nobody was killed. There were no guns down there. We didn't have guns. The others had guns, but we didn't have guns. And when I say we, these are people that walked down. This was a tiny percentage of the overall, which nobody sees and nobody shows. But that was a day of love from the standpoint of the millions. It's like hundreds of thousands. It could have been the largest group I've ever spoken before. They asked me to speak. I went and I spoke. And I used the term peacefully and patriotically. If you look at the Democrats, what they say, you look at Maxine Waters and you look at Hillary Clinton.
And wow. So now we're going to look at this voter's response to that word salad of an answer that we just heard there.
¿Recibió la respuesta que estaba buscando?
No. Yo vi lo que pasó. Yo estaba mirando el televisor y he visto muchos news clips y ¿sabes? De lo que pasó ese día.
Usted llegó indeciso a esta actividad.
So you can hear. So the question that was asked there was, you came here undecided to this town hall. Have you made a decision? And the first word that comes out of this guy's mouth. Let's listen here again.
¿Respuesta que estaba buscando?
No.
Did Trump win you over? No. Of course, that response didn't win that guy over, because Trump is never going to take any accountability for what happened on January 6th. And just in that response there, he said, nobody was killed. Ashley Babbitt was killed. Like in the same breath, claiming no one was killed, but Ashley Babbitt was killed. I mean, what does that even mean? How can no one be killed, but Ashley Babbitt was killed? It's just complete and utter nonsense what was coming out of his mouth there. And those Univision voters, especially this Hispanic man, was very, very not buying it, right? we all sat there, okay, and watched what happened on live television on January 6th. Everybody remembers where they were when that was happening. Everybody remembers the feelings they had watching police officers engage in hand-to-hand combat for hours and hours, holding back a line of ravenous supporters who ultimately were able to break into the Capitol building and cause all kinds of damage. Trump can try to rewrite history on this as much as he wants, but those voters all knew, all remember what they were feeling on that day. That man in particular was very much so remembering what he was feeling on that day, as Trump quite literally there lies to his face. And I really think that his response and his facial expressions there are very, very fitting and very natural for someone to make when they are being bullshitted to and lied to their face, right? Not a very fun thing to go through. When you know someone is bullshitting you and you have to kind of grin and bear it and go, kind of grit through it. Very uncomfortable situation to be in. And I think that anybody that watched what happened on January 6th and is upset by it in one way or another, if you're going back to Donald Trump and voting for Trump after what happened on that day, you basically fall into the camp of being anti-democracy and anti-American and anti what this country has stood for 200 plus years. And there's no going back from what happened on that day. And it's a very, very valid question of why doesn't all the people that work for you and Mike Pence, why don't they all want anything to do with you anymore? And January 6th was a very big day for people that have moved away now from Trump. That was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back for certain people. And it's really just kind of makes you wonder why hasn't the media been asking these questions on a much more daily basis than they have been. January 6th has turned into ancient history in the minds of a lot of voters, and it's mainly due to kind of this washing away of the events that happened and the events that led up to that day. And Trump, he tries to say, well, I said go peacefully and go patriotically to the Capitol. Well, dude, you were for weeks and weeks and weeks before that, throwing doubt on the results of the election with no evidence. That is what led people to believe that there was fraud in the election, was his actions. Like, come on. I mean, it's not just that everybody just showed up there on that day just because it was some coincidence or it was some just happenstance that they were all there. They were there because of the lies that Trump architected and spread using the behind the podium of the White House. I mean, so yeah, it's very, very appropriate questions for someone who wants to become president of the United States again. And I'm very, very glad that this voter did so. I just wish that the media would do what this voter here did, or undecided voter, I should say, did much, much more than they've done. That's all I got for you guys in this one. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share with someone who's into politics, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.